Hello, welcome back. I'm Mr. Solt, and today we're doing number 10, marking period 4, multiplying radicals, day 2 for Mr. Brown's Algebra 2 class. All right. What I recommend here is to just take a snapshot of his the questions, and just paste them in your assignment. So I'm on Windows, so I'm going to use a snipping tool. Just kind of like grab this, all right, grab these questions and Control A, Control C to copy it. If you're on a Chromebook, I believe it's the Control Shift Show Windows key. Hold down Control Shift and then Show Windows. You should be able to grab a snapshot of this. Just go ahead and paste that right in your assignment. That way you're not flipping back and forth. All right. So multiplying radicals using distributive property. Let me just demonstrate what the distributive property is before we begin, so you kind of understand what's going on here. It's best if I start with numbers because then that makes life easier for when we start using with variables. Okay, let's say I had a problem like this. 2 times the expression 3 plus 5. Well, in this case, I know I don't have any variables, so I can just do computation with the numbers. I know what 3 plus 5 is, and I know the parentheses says I have to do that first. So really, this is the same as 2 times, what's 3 plus 5? 3 plus 5 is 8. All right, and 2 times 8, what's that? 2 times 8, that's 16. Okay, simple enough, right? Well, what if I couldn't? What if I couldn't just multiply 3 and 5 together? What if they were variables that made life hard for me? Well, in that case, I could use a distributive property. Here's how that works. That if I distribute the 2 to the 3, and then add that to distributing the 2 to the 5, I should get the same as 16. So let me begin to do that. Let me distribute the 2 to the 3. Well, 2 times 3 plus 2 times 5. All right. What's that? Well, 2 times 3 is 6. All right. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 2 times 5 is 10. Hey, what's 6 plus 10 equal? That equals 16. So by distributing the 2 across the parentheses, across that plus sign, I can still get 16. All right. I can use this technique of distributing the 2 to the 3 and then the 2 to the 5 across the parentheses, and I can still multiply these things together. Now, again, I don't need to do that in this case. This would be a much simpler line, but sometimes in life you don't know the quantity of a variable, right? There are unknowns in life. So sometimes in math we have to use variables to represent unknowns. Okay. So I've got radical 3 times the expression 5 plus radical 3. Let's do it. First, I'm going to need a radical sign, so I'm going to insert special character, and I'm going to type in square root. On that, it's actually it'll pop right into my document right there. I'm just going to select this either with my mouse or by holding on the control button, and I'm going to Control C on that. That way I can copy this and I can keep pasting the radical sign whenever I want it. I've already forgotten what 11 was. Let me go back up and look. Radical 3 times the expression 5 times radical 3. Okay. Radical 3 times the expression 5 times radical 3. Did I get that right? Plus radical 3. Got it wrong. 5 plus radical 3. Okay. So I have to distribute across my parentheses, which means I have to now take my radical 3 times 5, right? Radical 3 times 5, which means usually we put the 5 out in front of it just to keep things easy for ourselves. And I'm going to keep that plus sign plus radical 3 times, oh my gosh, what did I do? I went somewhere. Okay. Radical 3 times radical 3. What's radical 3 times radical 3? Think about what that is. Let me think of another example. Well, radical 3 times radical 3 would be the same thing as 3 times the radical, 3 times 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9, so radical 3 times radical 3 would be 9. What is the square root of 9, or what radical is radical 9? What number multiplied by itself gives me 9? Hopefully you're thinking, hey, that would be 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9. Therefore, the square root of 9 is just the same thing as 3. So I can simplify this thing already. I've got 5 times the square root of radical 3 plus Well, radical 3 times radical 3, we know that's just going to be 3. And that is done. There's nothing more I can do with that. All right, that's kind of how this gets done. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, it gets a little more complex now. I got 2 times radical 5 times the expression radical 6 plus 2. All right, 2 times radical 5 times the expression, I've already forgotten it, radical 6 plus 2. Radical 6. 2. All right, same idea, but now I'm taking this whole thing and I'm going to multiply it by radical 6 and then add that to multiplying this whole thing by 2. All right, I'm distributing this coefficient here across the parentheses to each little piece inside the parentheses. So 2 times radical 5 times radical 6. Well, what would that be? 2 times radical 5 times radical 6. Hopefully remember from yesterday's day 1 multiplying radicals, this would be the same thing as 2 times radical 30. 2 times radical 3, right? Because it's just 5 times 6 is 30. That goes inside the radical. So my first step is 2 times radical 30 plus. All right, I distributed the 2 times radical 5 across the square root of 6, or radical 6. Now I got to take the coefficient and distribute it to the times 2. Well, okay, now this is a little bit different. A second ago, right, I was really multiplying a radical times a radical, which that meant my number underneath the radical changed. But this time multiplying by 2. So 2 times radical 5 times 2. What's that? What's that? Well, think about that. What would that be? I'm going to multiply my like terms. So I'm just going to take the 2 here, multiply it by the 2 here to get 4. Right? 2 times 2 is 4. That's the same thing as 4 radical 5. Okay. 4 5. All right, and I'm done because there's not anything left to do here. I'm looking for any simplifications I can do. I can't simplify radical 5. I don't think I can simplify 30. There's no perfect squares that fit into there that I can think off the top of my head. I think that's set. That's done. All right, I have to go to my next class, so I have to stop this short. Hopefully that's a quick introduction. Maybe if I get a chance, I'll do like 19 and 20, or some of these hard ones down at the bottom, and give you an idea what those feel like. All right, have a good day now.